We need to maintain a sense of curiosity, maybe even skepticism, questioning existing processes to find a pragmatic solution for our clients. My name is Franziska Kaiser. I am a German lawyer and managing director at Cattwyk law firm. Cattwyk is a European law firm based in Hamburg and Brussels, and we focus on supply chain compliance. That means we advise and represent clients in all matters of trade compliance, economic security and sustainability. So we have a very strong sustainability team that's based in Brussels and works solely on these questions. What is very important for our clients is that we very closely monitor all regulatory activity on the EU level from our office in Brussels. The DPP, the Digital Product Passport, is in fact a digital identity card for a product. And it's based on the Ecodesign for Sustainable Products Regulation, the ESPR. The DPP aims at facilitating, collecting and transferring data and information. And this data and information is required under various EU regulations like EUDR, PPWR, because the data in the DPP will be very helpful for companies. It will not only help them to be compliant, of course, with product compliance regulations, but it will also enable them to make smart supply chain strategies. If you want to take advantage of a zero import duty under a free trade agreement, you have to be able to prove the origin of the product. So it is important to understand that translation really goes both ways. The legal reasoning must always be combined with the business context. So what we do is we help our clients get a better understanding of the regulations. We explain the purpose of the regulation and the legislator's intention. We especially show synergies with other regulations and monitor all regulatory activity closely from our office in Brussels. The biggest confusion today results from the fact that there's just such a big number of regulations. There's just so many of them, and that can be overwhelming for companies, and I think that's completely understandable. And this is particularly true if all these regulations are not considered and understood in the context of their necessary synergies. It means that all these regulations are basically based on the European Green Deal. So you can say they come from the same source and they have to be understood and interpreted together. Secondly, some of these regulations, they alter or replace legal requirements that have already been there on a national level. So companies really have to assess whether the structures they already have regarding, let's say, components of their product, substances that are incorporated, or also packaging maybe, if these structures and processes can still apply to the newer EU regulations. And we see that companies struggle to determine really what regulations apply to them and how this affects their existing structures. To successfully translate legal requirements or legal texts for companies, we need to understand more about the company's business. We need to maintain a sense of curiosity, maybe even skepticism, and question existing processes in order to find a very pragmatic solution for our clients. A software like Osapiens can facilitate, first of all, the decisions that companies have to make under certain regulations, and that's a second very important aspect, can document every step of it. This has the advantage that you are, as a company, able to comply with all the regulations, and you have also an overview at each company level. The software platform not only facilitates gathering data, but also understands what decisions have to be made by the companies before importing products or selling products on the European market. Also, it facilitates documentation. And from a legal point of view, that's very important because compliance without documentation is non-compliance. In the event of official investigation, for example, this will be the only way to convince the authorities or even a court of law that specific structures were in place, that data was collected, or that the product consists of specific components or materials. So collecting all this information is very time-consuming, but the Osapiens Hub enables you to have one source where all the data comes from and that recognizes synergies between the various regulations. If a company takes too long to fix their data structures, one big risk is ending up with fines or even criminal charges in the worst case. Also, products could be withdrawn from the market with all the negative effects it has financially or for your reputation. There's also a competitive advantage for companies that fix their data structures early on. This creates clarity, avoids wasted efforts, and sets the foundation for real compliance progress.